What is up, guys? Welcome to the final installment of my Witchwood set review. Let's get right into it. Starting off here with a Shaman Legendary card, Shudder Walk, 9 mana, 6/6. It states, Battle Cry, repeat all other battle cries from cards you played this game. Targets chosen randomly. So very wordy there. The best thing I can recommend you guys do is go ahead and check out the reveal stream if you haven't already to see this guy in action. There are a number of cool interactions, notably Star Knight Chain Gang and possibly Doppelgangster in Wild, because when you play this after playing Star Knight Chain Gang, it copies another Shudder Walk because it copies itself like Star Knight Chain Gang does. So remember, you're not getting extra Battle Cry minions, you're just getting the extra Battle Cries. What are the cool Battle Cries you can get right now? Well, in Standard, obviously Star Knight Chain Gang. You can get Grumble World Shaker for some crazy shenanigans. And there's a little life drain card called Life Drinker coming up, which might have some combo applications with this card. So very cool card. Almost impossible to go over all the interactions it's going to have in games. Definitely maybe the Yogg Saron of the set. Definitely the most fun card probably we got going on so far in this set. In Wild, you have a card Echoing Ooze, which duplicates the Star Knight Chain Gang effect. You have Jades as well, right? You get all those extra Jades. And you got Reno Jackson, among other things going on. So very crazy card here. And can't wait to see the videos that come out with this card included. Cauldron Elemental is an 8 mana 7/7. It says your other elementals have +2 attack. Not sure why you need that after playing an 8 mana 7/7, but there you go. I think it's worse than Stormwind Champion by quite a bit. It doesn't affect all your creatures, just your elementals, and it costs more than Champion at 8 mana. Another 8 mana card here, Deranged Doctor. It's an 8 mana 8/8, Death Rattle, neutral. Restore 8 health to your hero. That's quite a bit of health. The obvious combination here is with something like Cobalt Illusionist. You get that huge health at a bargain. This also combos with Silver Vanguard if you are looking for an extra way to get health. So pretty awkward body here, but the Death Rattle is what's important. It is a powerful Death Rattle, and there are ways in the game to kind of cheat out Death Rattles, like Cobalt Illusionist. Another 8 mana Death Rattle card is the Splintering Fester Root. It's a 4/4 Death Rattle summon 2/2 spitting saplings, and those saplings will further split into 2 1/1. So very, very slow, grindy kind of value type of card. You're looking to make use of the Death Rattle, kind of cheat the Death Rattle into play with the Cobalt Illusionist, or maybe get it out with a Coffin Crasher or something like that. You kind of want to cheat this into play. It does combo pretty well with the Vivid Nightmare card in Priest, but overall, a pretty weak card. I think this competes directly with Violent Worm. The Worm being a 7/7 makes it a lot more threatening, and you get all the 1/1s all at once, which could be better, could be worse. Now, it is a more grindy card. It's going to take longer for your opponent to possibly deal with the board outside of something like Defile. Rogue Legendary Tess Greymane, 8 mana 6/6 Battle Cry. Replay every card from another class you played this game. Targets chosen randomly. So what you're looking for here obviously are creatures and not spells, because the spells could be a disaster technically. You're looking for as many minions as you can, because this would represent almost an early N'Zoth type of a play. Very powerful here with enough minions. If you're playing this card in a fun deck, it will make the mirror match pretty much a bummer, because you're not going to be able to replay basically anything. Countess Ashmore is the 7 mana 6/6 neutral legendary here, kind of like the Curator. It's going to get 3 cards, a Rush, a Lifesteal, and a Death Rattle. The stats here are a little bit worse than Curator because it doesn't have exactly Taunt, even though it is bigger. There are serviceable neutrals here at Lifesteal. There are serviceable Rush and Lifesteal minions, notably Pumpkin Peasant and Swift Messenger, so that might form a little bit of a value package there in decks. I can definitely see this card seeing play. Dark Mirror Moonkin, 7 mana 2/8 neutral, spell damage +2. Not much to say about this guy. It is a notable Oakheart card, right? Anytime you have a really big 2-attack card, you got to pay a little bit of attention for Master Oakheart fun decks. Furious Eaton, 7 mana 5/9 taunt here. So we're getting really close to a neutral Ancient of War. This is kind of the new Bog Creeper of the set. It is a 5/9 instead of a 4/8. So technically better taunting stats, and Bog Creeper did creep into constructed play a little bit. And I imagine this guy will as well to some extent. So again, very close to a neutral Ancient of War. Nightscale Matriarch, 7 mana 4/9 dragon. Whenever a friendly minion is healed, summon a 3/3 whelp. So Pretty amazing card here. It's got great stats. It's got the dragon tag, and it's got a very relevant ability. And we're going to see a lot of this card in standard for sure. Another 7 mana dragon card here, which is not a dragon, the Worm Guard. 3/11, Battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, it gains +1 attack and taunt. Notably here, another Master Oakheart target, right? It is a 3-attack minion, so it can be pulled with the Oakheart for a lot of value at 9 mana. This guy competes directly with the Furious Eaton. And Eaton, if you have a dragon in your hand, well, he's obviously a little bit better, but not much better. This guy doesn't have the Tarlord problem where if he gets silenced, he becomes pretty bad. He's still going to retain that 3 attack if he gets silenced, so that's something. Pretty cool card overall. We're going to have a lot of options at huge taunts in this set for sure. Mossy Horror, 6 mana, 2/7. Destroy all other minions with 2 or less attacks. So we've got a neutral Shadow Word Horror. Very strong card here. Paladins, watch out because everyone has access to a really strong tech card against you, being able to kill your, dudes and call to arm turns. Bewitched Guardian, we got a Druid card here, 5 mana, 4/1, but it's like a Twilight Drake, right? Taunt, Battlecry, gain 1 health for each card in your hand. Obviously, a great card in the hand Druid deck. Watch out for those silences. This card is good, but it does die to Earth Shock, so again, watch out for those. Bonfire Elemental, 5 mana, 5/5. Battlecry, if you played an elemental last turn, draw a card. This is a pretty solid card here. It's going to see play most likely because Blizzard is really pushing a minion mage deck. We're going to see more cards that go in the minion mage deck here upcoming. But yeah, pretty serviceable card. It notably is an elemental itself. So if you have 2 of them, you can play them one after the other and try to get some extra cards that way. Carrion Drake is a 5 mana 3/7 Hunter Dragon card. Notably a dragon here. Battlecry, if a minion died this turn, gain poisonous. That's not too hard with something like Eagle Hornbow. Eagle Hornbow, a great way to get a creature kill without spending any mana. And this guy follows up the turn 4 Hound Master Shaw pretty well because if it has poisonous, obviously it can rush into any creature and kill it, even a huge taunt. Chief Inspector, 5 mana, 4/6. Battlecry, destroy all enemy secrets. So the secret removal cards are rotating out of standard, and here is the replacement. It might be the best one yet because it's not an embarrassing body like the other 4-drops were. The Kazan Mystic at 4/3, the Eater of Secrets at 2/4. Playing this on turn 5 is not that bad, and if secrets become a problem, this guy will definitely see play. Curious Collector is a mage card. It's a 4/4 for 5. Whenever you draw a card, gain +1/+1. So unless you're comboing this with something like Acolyte or a card draw spell, there's a nifty card draw spell coming up, but that's going to take 7 mana for a 7/7. And even that, while very strong, is just still War Golem status. So this is kind of a win more card. Even in the best case scenario, you're not really getting that much out of it. I don't like this card at all. A growing card that I do actually like is the Warrior card, Fester Root Hulk, 5 mana, 2/7. Whenever a friendly minion attacks, gain +1 attack. So you can probably expect this to be around 4/7 on turn 5, and it has real upside following turns, getting more and more attack. So this guy is a Hulk, and it's pretty good. Notably, another Master Oakheart target. That's a theme running through this set for sure. The 5 mana with just 2 attack. Ghostly Charger, 5 mana, 3/4 Beast, Divine Shield Rush. That's a lot of things going on. Very similar to the Kodo from the basic set, because it's likely going to kill something like a 2/2. The turn it comes into play, it's even a beast like the Kodo is. It doesn't have the Peacekeeper synergy like Kodo does, but it has more redemption type synergy. Anytime this resurrects or gets brought back with redemption, gets the Divine Shield back for some extra value. Prince Liam, Paladin Legendary, 5 mana, 5/5 with a Battlecry to transform all 1-cost cards in your deck into legendary minions. So we got a Skulking Geist counter card here, I guess. Yeah. Obviously, the idea here is you turn your terrible top deck secrets into possible legendary bombs going late. So if there is a secret Paladin deck running around, it's definitely probably going to play this guy because the upside is pretty big, getting random legendaries. Quartz Elemental, 5 mana, 5/8 Elemental Priest card. Can't attack while damaged. So the downside to this card gives it kind of pseudo taunt. Your opponent's going to want to ping it with something or hit it with something. The problem with that is they want to do little damage to it, but then you could heal the damage on your turn and go ahead and attack with it. It has a great synergy, of course, with Baku Priest because you can heal for 4. So overall, you're getting a really good deal on this card. Very big stats. I think this is a powerhouse card here. Vile Brood Skitterer. It's a 5 mana 1/3 Poisonous Rush Hunter Beast. A very cool take, cool design on an Assassinate here. That's kind of what it is. Although you do have to worry about taunting, you could technically trade into something small and have it survive as well. It is a notable Master Oakheart pull. Again, just one attack for a really good effect on turn 9, right? Being able to assassinate something alongside pulling other, Master Oakheart things. So very cool design here. Gonna try this guy out in Hobgoblin as well. Fiendish Circle, Warlock spell, summon 4 1/1 imps. We've got a fixed implosion here, right? You're always gonna get the 4 imps, although you don't do any damage to a creature. Maybe that's what you want to be doing. There are a lot of classic cards that support this type of strategy, from the Direwolf Doggy to the Knife Juggler, even something like Sea Giant. In the set coming up here, we have Witch's Cauldron, which would love to see a lot of imps to feed to it. Arcane Keysmith is a creature, 4 mana, 2/2, mage card. Battlecry, discover a secret, put it into the battlefield. Notably discover, not from your deck. So this is a way for the heavily pushed minion mage deck that Blizzard wants us to make. It's a way for them to get secrets and join in on the secret fun. There are a couple secrets in standard that are tempo, Mere Entity, and Counterspell technically get you tempo. So possibly gets seen play in standard. In wild, this gets really gross because you can still get Ice Block. Right, more ways to get Ice Block, extra Ice Blocks, and because it's a creature, it's really easy to copy and get additional copies of this thing moving forward. So Ice Block does leave standard, but in wild, it's still going to be a thing for sure with this card. Elso Inquisitioner, 4 mana 1/6 lifesteal taunt. When I talked about Lady in White, this is kind of an example of a bad Lady in White card. You kind of want to play cards that are decent on their own and then get extra, buffs. This is notably a demon, however, so if you are playing Lady in White Priest and you Shadow Madness Possessed Lackey, well, you can get some extra value by pulling this demon out of your deck for free. Hopefully it's a 6/6 at that point because of the Lady in White. Light Drinker is a 4 mana 3/3 beast, which says Battlecry, deal 3 damage to the enemy hero, restore 3 health to your hero. This is the card I was referring to when we were talking about the Shuttle Walk at the beginning of the video. So it could be some interesting combo potential with this guy. It's a 6 health swing, which can't be ignored. So I do think this card does sneak into constructed lists. Mad Hatter, a fun card here, 4 mana 3/2. Randomly toss 3 hats to other minions. Each hat gives +1/+1. Notably, other minions, not your minions, so it could go wrong. I think this card is just worse and less useful than the 4 mana Defender of Argus. Night Prowler, another 4 mana 3/3 Battlecry. If this is the only minion on the field, it's +3/+3, so it becomes a 6/6 for 4. So this is a pretty good play following a Doomsayer in the early turns for sure, playing a 6/6 for 4. This is also cheap enough to combo with Defile possibly. So this might be a card to watch out in exactly Warlock because of both Doomsayer and on 6 mana you could Defile, realistically kill everything, and then play this as a 6/6. Sand Binder, 4 mana 2/4, so it's got the Gnomish Inventor stats, and it also draws a card. It's going to Battlecry, draw an elemental from your deck. So we got an elemental support card here. Love to see that. And neutral. This obviously fits in the Minion Mage deck as well. Totem Crusher, 4 mana 2/3 taunt. Battlecry, destroy your totems. Gain +2/+2 for each destroyed. So in exactly a control mirror, this could be useful. You totem, and then on turn 4 you play this. Get a 6/7 taunt possibly if they didn't do anything. That's the one application I can see. Realistically, this card's not very good. You could try to follow it up on some sort of Primal Talisman turn. Maybe you Primal Talismans, get a bunch of totems. You play this and you find a way to copy it or something. It just seems like a lot of work for not that much of a reward. Unpowered Steambot, 4 mana 0/9 taunt. This is another example of a bad Lady in the White card. It is a 4 mana 9/9 once you play the Lady, but before then it's pretty terrible. It is a notable target for the Meat Wagon, right? You pull out a huge taunt, I guess. Witchwood Piper, 4 mana 3/3 Battlecry, draw the lowest cost minion in your deck. So a pretty sweet little value card here. You could try to build this with Prince Kaliseth. You could play it in Priest to get your Kalimos, the legendary 1/1. And maybe in Wild, you try to get, something like King's Elec into Reno Jackson in an all spells deck kind of thing. So it could be cool. Some combo applications, but maybe it's just a nice little value card, right? 4 mana 3/3, draw a card is not too bad of a deal whatsoever. Cinderstorm, 3 mana mage spell, deal 5 damage, randomly split among all enemies. So very good on turn 3 exactly. Later in the game, though, this can get a little bit awkward probably as it's not likely to maybe kill anything at all. So exactly on turn 3, it's going to do the job. It's definitely going to clear the board and possibly get a 2-for-1. But later in the game, very risky card to play. Ferocious Howl, 3 mana, druid card, draw a card, gain 1 armor for each card in your hand. I guess you get the extra armor because you drew a card. Who knows how the interaction works there. Basically, a druid shield block. Shield block isn't good enough to see constructed play. This is a shield block with upside, right? You're likely to get even more than 5 armor, especially if you're playing the hand druid deck. Cutthroat Buccaneer, 3 mana, 2/4 pirate. Combo, give your weapon +1 attack. So a lot of things going on here. You have to figure out how to combo it. But the +1 attack is good, just even on your regular weapon and obviously on King's Bane. It being a pirate is a very notable thing, and that it has 4 health is also very notable. If you play South Captain early in the game, this becomes a 3/5, and that's very powerful for trading. So not a card to be ignored here. I do think this is very good. Druid of the Scythe, 3 mana 2/2, but really it's transform, right? It's a 2/4 taunt or a 4/2 rush. So very versatile card here at any point in the game. Very solid, either removal or little roadblock. So very good card. Hench Clan Thug, 3 mana 3/3. After your hero attacks, give this minion +1/+1. So this is notably not a battle cry. This keeps happening. In Rogue, Hunter, and Warrior, you're going to be able to realistically get this to 4/4 on turn 3. And it's going to keep growing there, especially in a Rogue. So very, very strong little card here in exactly Warrior, Rogue, and Hunter. Shaman kind of miss out on this guy because their weapons tend to overload you on turn 2. Could this guy be powerful enough for Light's Justice to see play in Standard? Possibly, right? Possibly. Another 3 mana card that has Light's Justice synergy is the Marsh Drake, 3 mana 5/4. Summon a 2/1 Poisonous Dragon Slayer for your opponent. So this is a very strong card if you can deal with the 2/1 kind of for free. And for free means weapon, right? So again, Warrior, Rogue, Hunter, and maybe Paladin if they're going to play the Light's Justice. Paragon of Light, 3 mana 2/5. When this minion has 3 or more attack, it has taunt and lifesteal. So when we were talking about Sound the Bells, I noted that it has a very strong Wild Pyro interaction, but other than that, not much going on. Now this is a reason to play Sound the Bells for sure, because you get that important attack, and the health, because it's going to be a taunt, is good as well. So comboing this from turn 3 to turn 4 seems pretty powerful. If you can get a lucky Call to Arms and get the Dire Doggy, how insane is that, right? You play this on turn 3, you Call to Arms turn 4, you get the Dire Doggy in the right spot. All of a sudden, this becomes taunt. It protects your Dire Doggy. It gives a lifesteal. It protects your jugglers as well. So very tilting situation if your opponent goes Paragon of Light exactly into Call to Arms Dire Doggy. Rabid Worgen, 3 mana 3/3 rush. So here's that 3 mana rush card we were predicting when we saw the Woodcutter Axe. So that is important to make the Woodcutter Axe a little bit better. I gave the Woodcutter Axe a very negative review. That was before seeing the Town Crier, which I do think makes the axe better on turn 2 because it gives you that reach of 3 attack. And here's the completion of the puzzle, because you have the attack on turn 2, you have the attack on turn 3, but you need the rush minion on turn 3 to take the buff, and here you go. This is the Rabid Worgen. So very solid card throughout the game, and exactly with Woodcutter Axe, it's pretty good. Rat Catcher is an epic Warlock card, 3 mana 2/2 with rush. Battlecry, destroy a friendly minion and gain its attack and health. So the best combo here is turn 2 Ancient Watcher, turn 3 you get a 6/7 rush minion. That's pretty strong for board control. Later in the game, maybe you have Humongous Razor Leaf. So those are the 2 cards I'm looking at with this right off the bat. You can combo with eggs and stuff, and we do have a new egg coming up, although it's not the best combo with this in the world. Tanglefur Mystic is a cool card, 3 mana 3/4. Battlecry, add a random 2-cost minion to each player's hand. So this is a cool card because it supports so many kind of things going on in the set, right? We've got the Minion Mage, we've got all the Baku decks that can make use of the even costed card. We got the Burgle Rogue. You're going to get, I guess you're going to get about half the time another class minion, probably maybe a little bit less than half the time. You also have Hand Druid, right? So it just draws a card for the Hand Druid deck. Walnut Sprite is a 3 mana 3/3 Echo, looking to support Baku decks. Obviously, kind of another Phantom Militia here, although it does die to Hellfire and Duskbreaker, and it doesn't have Taunt, which the Militia does, which I think gives the edge to Militia, especially in the late game. Now, if you're looking for more Militia commanders in your Baku deck, well, you have the option with the Walnut Sprite, but I don't think this gets played over the militia if that's what you need. Book of Specters, 2 mana, draw 3 cards, discard any spells drawn. So this is obviously going to be in the staple in the new Minion Mage deck that Blizzard is very heavily pushing, and it's going to combo insanely well with a legendary creature we got coming up here. The only thing that I don't like about this card, I think it's really cool, I just don't like that it's an epic card because they are pushing the Minion Mage quite heavily, and it looks like we might need to craft a couple of these to play that deck. Curse of Weakness, 2 mana Warlock Echo card. Give all enemy minions -2 attack until your next turn. Notably, this is going to affect your attack phase and their next attack phase. So at the very least, this kind of acts like a Frost Nova. More importantly, this is like a mirror breaker in aggro matchups. If you have a board, they have a board. You play this a couple times, destroy their board. If anything is left over, they can't even make counter trades against you. This does also combo extremely well with the neutral card Mossy Horror, both at 8 mana and probably almost a complete board wipe at 10 mana. So very, very strong Warlock card, and it's probably even better than it looks, again, because it's so versatile, right? It can act like a Frost Nova, it can act like a board clear with the Horror, it can also just be a complete mirror breaker in aggro zoo kind of matchup. So very strong card. Divine Hymn, 2 mana pre-spell, restores 6 health to all characters, friendly characters, including yourself. So for 1 mana more than Binding Heal, you can get some crazy value with Northshire Cleric. So I do think it is a stronger card than Binding Heal, which did see a little bit of play. Earthen Might, 2 mana shaman spell. Give a minion +2/+2. If it's an elemental, add a random elemental to your hand. So really strong card following a turn 1 Firefly. And this might actually make Wax Elemental be constructed playable in Standard because it already has Flame Tongue synergy. So we're definitely going to try out the Wax Elemental with this card because it is pretty cool. Snap Freeze is just a pure upgraded Shatter. 2 mana, freeze a minion. If it's already frozen, destroy it. So Shatter didn't see any play. This is better than Shatter, and 2 mana freeze a minion, while not great in general, can be a good deal in some situations. It's just hard to see this card being put in your deck on purpose, right? Archmage Argyle, 2 mana 2/2. Whenever you draw a minion, add a copy of it to your hand. So not a turn 2 play whatsoever. This, of course, combos with the Book of Specter in the Minion Mage deck that Blizzard is definitely pushing on us. So for just 4 mana, you get a 2/2 and 6 extra cards, assuming you have mostly minions in your deck. Probably play something like Arcane Intellect as well, maybe to combo with this. Maybe not. Maybe you just use the Book of Specters. Baleful Banker, 2 mana 2/2 Battlecry. Choose a friendly minion, shuffle a copy of it into your deck. So we got a neutral Manic Soulcaster here, which is cheaper, which means more sort of combo potential possibly. You lose the nice little body of the Manic Soulcaster, however. And while this can probably do crazy things, already we can think of Wild Rogue. It's like another gang up. Another way to get powerful minions like Reno and Nazoth. Warlocks can actually get fatigue immunity with this card alongside the Gilda Crowskin, because you can play the Crowskin, you put the Crowskin in your deck with the Banker, and then you put the Banker in your deck with the extra Banker, right? Because it has Echo. So basically you would never run out of cards if you played that combo. Kind of like what you could do in Mage with Bran, Soulcaster Bran, and then Soulcaster the Soulcaster. This guy being just 2 mana means it can combo with some of the notable legendaries instead if you want extra copies of something like Lord Godfrey, Splinter Graft, or something like Tess Greymane in Rogue. Ghostlight Angler, 2 mana 2/2 Echo Murloc. So not the best way to spend your turn making 2 mana 2/2s, even in a dedicated Murloc deck. However, once you have turned into Hagatha, this guy gets extreme amounts of value. Lost Spirit, 2 mana 1/1. Death Rattle, give your minions +1 attack. So not much to say at all about this thing. It doesn't have health. It doesn't give health. It's pretty terrible. Squashling is a 2 mana 2/1 with Echo. Battlecry, restore health to anything. So you can heal yourself or heal a creature. The one thing this can do on turn 3, if you land an injured Blade Master, turn 4, you heal the Blade Master twice, make a couple 2/1s in the process. That's not terrible. This has some finishing potential with Akanai's Soul Priest as well. Overall, pretty underwhelming card, but it does have some niche applications with the Soul Priest and the injured Blade Master. Vicious Scalehide, 2 mana 1/3 Lifesteal Rush Beast. This guy kept popping up in the reveal stream for good reason. It has a nice body for taking buffs. It has the Beast tag for the Dire Frenzy. So pretty cool card overall. A great little Deathstalker Rexar card as well. Having Lifesteal and Rush on the same card is pretty amazing. Blazing Invocation is just 1 mana for Discover a Battlecry minion. So the pretty cool card here because you're going to know who you're playing when you play this. You can get the tech card you need. Maybe you get the Blood Knight or the card that AoEs, or you're in a control matchup. You just get a card that draws a card. So pretty nifty little card here because when you play it, you're going to know what type of card you're going to need depending on the matchup. Dark Possession, 1 mana, deal 2 damage to a friendly character, discover a demon. So you can hit yourself with this because it just says friendly character, not minion. This is a way to activate the spell stones in your hand, as well as possibly getting more Void Lords in your hand. So also pops the Possessed Lackeys. So yeah, definitely a card that fits right into Q block if they want it. They might not need it, but it is a little bit surprising that Blizzard printed another card that would fit so well into that deck. Hidden Wisdom is a Paladin secret. It is, of course, 1 mana. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, you draw 2. So I like this more if you drew 3. I don't like it at all if you draw 2 because you just might lose the game before your opponent ever plays 3 cards. Now, you might get the secret for free. You know, you might not have to play the secret or whatever, but still, I think you should get at least 3 cards for this effect. And I don't like the card at all. Just a lot of times you're just going to not get anything for it. And even when it works, you only get 1 extra card, right? Because it costs a card technically, unless you get it for free, which I think you can be doing better things because there is a limit on how many secrets you can pull out at once. You only get 5 at once. So even with Mysterious Challenger, it's not like you're getting free value with this thing. Swamp Dragon Egg, 1 mana 0/3, Death Rattle, add a random dragon to your hand. So technically a neutral dragon here. You can think of this like a runic egg type of a card. It's not going to get you any sort of tempo on the board, but it does take buffs, technically better than a runic egg. Swamp Leech is a 1 mana 2/1 beast with lifesteal, so a very efficient lifesteal creature here. I don't think it makes your main deck, but any deck running Deathstalker Rexar is going to love this guy because it is a cheap way to get lifesteal on some crazy creatures. 1 mana 1/1 stealth, give a friendly minion +2 health. Not sure why this card exists. Maybe just to keep Bane of Doom in check and to give you some sad moments with that card. It's worse than just a 1 mana 1/3 demon do nothing, I think. So yeah, not a great card at all. 0 mana zap, deal 2 damage to a minion, overload 1. This card is getting compared to Backstab. It's nowhere near as good as Backstab. Not only does it overload you, in Rogue, you're able to do 3 damage, right? With this thing, you can't kill Northshire Cleric, so that's a problem. You also can't kill Mana Worm. That's a problem as well. So I do think this is worse than Lightning Bolt in general, and it's no Backstab. Because this card does cost 0, however, it does have synergy on turn 7 with Bog Shaper, if that's what you're trying to do. So that completes my review of the Witchwood set. If you guys agree or disagree with anything, feel free and please comment below. I will not take offense. I'm going to put a link up here to the playlist for all the card reviews of the Witchwood. And I hope you guys have good luck in opening the packs tomorrow. I will be streaming Wednesday, which is today, to go over all the new things we can do in this set. We'll go into Hearthstone and make some decks for Thursday. And then, of course, Thursday we'll be streaming an extra long time and having some fun. So hope to see you guys on the stream.